Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel Gh8 News, wherever you are around the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, Canada, Australia, or right here in Africa, Ghana specifically. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I want you to stay tuned, stay glued, watch this video to the end. A lot of scandals hitting the previous administration. Lots of scandals, big scandals. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government, Dr. Mamadou Bawumia's government, the government that they oversaw in 8 years, the kind of scandals that are hitting them right now as we speak. NPP, New Patriotic Party. In fact, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia, they are supposed to be in the handcuffs right now. Mr. IGP, handcuff them right now. Handcuff them right now and let them produce the former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. Handcuff ex-president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Handcuff him right now. What kind of corruption, massive corruption under his watch? Under his watch, Nana Addo. You promised to protect the public purse, but you left power, and you and your group, you and your party, you actually stole the purse away. You stole the entire purse. You stole the entire purse. You left Bank of Ghana empty. You left the finance ministry empty, the Ghana's coffers empty. You stole everything, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you see why we need to get angry over this issue. Maybe we are forgetting our national pledge, Ghana's national pledge. Maybe you have forgotten it. Let me go through it for you line by line. Then you see whether these guys, NPP, that are fighting to come back to power, you see whether they have been truthful to Ghanaians. Yesterday, Deputy Finance Minister came back to Parliament to present an auditor's report. Auditor's report, and it is damning. From the Finance Ministry itself to the Interior Ministry to the Agenda 111 to where? One district, one factory. The corruption, billions and billions of Ghana cedis has gone down the drain. I would like you to listen to the Finance Minister by yourself, so don't go anywhere yet. You listen to him, but quickly. You see, this is the pledge of Ghana, Ghana's pledge. If you know these words, and these words are ringing in your heart, you will not go to that extent. I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. That is Ghana's pledge. I pledge myself to the service of Ghana with all my strength and with all my heart. I promise to hold in high esteem. I promise to hold in high esteem our heritage, won for us through the blood and toil of our fathers. And I pledge myself in all things to uphold and defend the public purse and defend the good name of Ghana. So help me God. Has the NPP have they fulfilled this pledge? Ladies and gentlemen, an auditor's report presented to Parliament yesterday found out a whooping amount of 89.4 million claimed under the one district, one factory program was fake, as all 5 banks listed said government did not owe them any money. So 89.4 million that they claim that they were supposed to pay to the one district, one factory program, 89.4 million Ghana cedis that they claim they are to pay to the various banks, 5 different banks, as interest payment for the money they've lended to one district, one factory program or factories. The 5 banks have denied knowledge of the money. So where did the money pass? The 5 banks that was listed claim nothing of that sort. No agreement of that sort. Nothing, no money was paid to them. In fact, they did not even have any bank account for search. Ken Ofori-Atta, where did the money pass? President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who authorized this from the Council of State meeting, from cabinet meeting, beg your pardon. Who did you sit over and supervise over this cabinet meeting before these monies were disbursed? Now, let's go forward. I would like you to listen to the minister by yourself in few minutes. In few minutes, I would like you to listen to the minister by yourself. Let me read one or two reports for you from there. You see, here, even more shocking findings of the auditor's report from 2024. Listen to this. Apart from the fictitious debt of 89.4 million, listen to this. The Ministry of Finance subsequently proceeded same to the Controller and Auditor-General Department for payment. This particular request of the 89.4 million was part of the BTA's sitting of the Controller and Auditor-General Department awaiting cash for payment when they were leaving office. When auditors contacted these 5 banks to confirm the liability, every single one of them denied being owed any amount by government. Just imagine. Payment of 10.5 million was recorded as having been made into an account named buffer account at a commercial bank. Upon verification, the bank confirmed that it had never received such payment. Just imagine. The account number cited did not exist within the bank's records and did not even conform to its account numbering format. Scandalous NPP government. The entire NPP supposed to be dissolved. There shouldn't be anybody, any party like NPP in Ghana any longer. These people should not come anywhere near power any longer. As a result of this fictitious account linked to one district, one factory payment, the entire 1D, 1F scheme requires a forensic audit, which will be carried out soon, according to the minister. More so when government is said to have spent 391 million as its contribution towards the 1D, 1F interest subsidies as at the end of 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Ofori-Atta has questions to answer. We have to find any means to bring him to Ghana alive or dead, no problem. In fact, he must be taken care of so that he will come back to Ghana alive. It's better we hang him ourselves. If he's to be hanged, I would love to be part of it. Even if he's to be stoned to death, including Nana Addo, it is the president's cousin. He's the finance minister. He is the president's cousin. Dr. Bawumia vying to become Ghana's president. Over whose? They want to come back and conceal all the evils they've committed. No way. Ladies and gentlemen, they want to come back and conceal it. No, please, let me not say much. Listen to what the finance minister has to say, and I'll be back. I will be back with more exclusives at the end of the day. Just listen carefully.
Of Dr. Kasil Ato-Forsen, the Minister for Finance, and the statement is on the audit of the arrears, as was reported to this House during the mid-year budget review. Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm grateful for the opportunity to make this statement on a matter that is very important to this Republic. This is a report on the systemic plunder and abuse of the public financial management system. By the time I'm done with this presentation, it will become clear that something needed to be done to save our economy. Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Finance informed this August House during the media review of the 2025 budget of the ongoing audit of government arrears and commitments as at end 2024, and promised to submit same to this House when the process is completed. The Ghana Audit Service, working in partnership with EY and PwC, undertook an exercise to verify and validate a total of 68.7 billion Ghana cedis submitted to the Ministry of Finance in unpaid interim payment certificates, invoices, and bank transfer advices owed to contractors and suppliers. Out of this, outstanding IPCs and invoices amounted to 50.5 billion Ghana cedis, while outstanding bank transfer advices amounted to 18.3 billion Ghana cedis. Findings. Mr. Speaker, permit me to present some of the troubling findings of the audit. Out of the 68.7 billion Ghana cedis submitted for audit, a total of 45.4 billion Ghana cedis was deemed to be valid for payment. A total of 8.1 billion Ghana cedis was rejected for various reasons, including unsupported documentation, duplication, overstatement, already paid items, falsified stores receipt advice, and no work done. About 1 billion Ghana cedis of the outstanding BTAs, which refers to invoices and IPCs processed by MDAs in 2024, approved by Ministry of Finance, submitted to Controller and Accountant General's Department, and pending payment were rejected. Mr. Speaker, this 1 billion Ghana cedis that was rejected by the audit would have been paid if the Ministry of Finance had not made a bold decision to stop payment in January 2025. About 7.1 billion Ghana cedis of the outstanding IPCs and invoices, which refers to requests by MDAs for payments to suppliers and contractors and certified for payment by various public officers across the approval hierarchies, have also been rejected. They were rejected for various reasons, including absence of supporting documents, duplications, recycled invoices and IPCs, overstatements, and no work done. Again, an amount of 13.3 billion Ghana cedis is yet to be validated for various reasons, including lack of third-party confirmation, inadequate documentation, and no supporting contracts. Mr. Speaker, fictitious debt of 89.4 million Ghana cedis. The then Ministry of Trade and Industry in 2024 submitted a request of 89.4 million Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Finance to be transferred to 5 commercial banks as government's contribution to interest payments under the One District, One Factory initiative. The Ministry of Finance subsequently processed same to the Controller and Accountant General's Department for payment. But Mr. Speaker, this particular request was part of BTAs sitting at the Controller and Accountant General's Department awaiting cash for payment. When auditors contacted these 5 banks to confirm the liability, every single one of them denied being owed any amount by government under the said arrangement. According to the auditors, the said 89.4 million Ghana cedis debt was fictitious. Without the audit intervention, a whopping 89.4 million Ghana cedis of hard-earned public money could have been disbursed to settle this non-existent liability. Mr. Speaker, only God knows how much of taxpayers' money has been lost to similar fictitious claims. Right, Honorable Speaker, payment of 10.5 million Ghana cedis was recorded as having been made into an account named the buffer account at a commercial bank. Upon verification, the bank confirmed that it had never received such payment. The account number cited did not exist within the bank's records and did not even conform to its account numbering format. The evidence from the audit pointed to a completely fictitious account. Mr. Speaker, as a result of these fictitious accounts linked to the One District, One Factory payments, The entire 1B, 1F scheme requires a forensic audit which will be carried out soon. More so when government is said to have spent 391 million Ghana cedis as its contribution towards 1B, 1F interest subsidies as at the end of 2024. The dry spell expenditure. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, the government of Ghana paid for 34,000 metric tons of rice to address the impact of the dry spell. However, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture received and distributed 24,000 metric tons of rice. To date, 10,000 metric tons of rice remains unaccounted for, even though the entire quantity has been fully paid for. The audit revealed that the government of Ghana also contracted a company to supply 100,000 metric tons of maize. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture submitted stores receipt advice as evidence of delivery of the 100,000 metric tons of maize worth 771.2 million Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Finance for payment. But only 11,900 metric tons was supplied and distributed. Mr. Speaker, it is worth noting that the store's receipt advice was supported by a checklist that was certified by the internal auditor of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Overpayment for transportation of grains. Mr. Speaker, under the Farmer Food Relief and Recovery Program, a transportation company was contracted to transport 134,000 metric tons of maize and rice to farmers across the country at a contract sum of 115.2 million Ghana cedis. Even though the company transported only 35,000 out of the 134,000 metric tons, which should have costed 30.9 million Ghana cedis, the company was paid in cash 50 million Ghana cedis. In addition to this payment, the company was given 7,311 metric tons of rice, equivalent to 14,622 bags of 50 kg rice, which amounts to 11.7 million Ghana cedis in lieu of cash for no work done. This brings total payment to 61.7 million cedis to the transportation company.
Bunch of people.
As a result, the Auditor-General accordingly rejected an amount of 65.2 million Ghana cedis that was requested by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture as additional payment to the said transport company. The unfounded teacher trainee arrears. The Ministry of Education reported unpaid allowances totaling 160 million Ghana cedis to teacher trainees under the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission.
Immediately NDC came to power.
When auditors engaged Gh8, the agency confirmed that as of December 2024, there were no outstanding arrears.
That is why he made it very clear
over
that
159 million Ghana cedis would have been lost but for this audit.
Now,
Mr. Speaker,
an
amount of 6.1 million Ghana cedis appeared on the Ministry of Education's BTA schedule at the Controller and Accountant General's Department, even though the same funds had already been paid by a donor partner.
Dr. Bawumia is a
Such
criminal.
entries
He must
open
not
a
be
door
allowed to come anywhere near the presidency. No. Oh, now they have 38%.
Porous coordination between donor and government financial records.
28% next.
Auditors identified BTAs totaling 293 million Ghana cedis for
this?
6 MDAs with no documentation.
So they only sat there
were
in
no
government
contracts,
and they were enjoying
no IPCs, and no record
crying.
of any executed work.
NSS.
Mr. Speaker, the breakdown of the unsupported BTAs are as follows.
They
Ministry of
claim that they
Gender,
are
Children and
make
Social
payment to
Protection,
banks, 5
241.2 million
We've
Ghana
got
cedis.
no business to do with government.
Ministry of Roads and Highways, 26.3 million Ghana
Got no
cedis.
business with government.
Judicial Service,
So
18.2
they just
million Ghana
created
cedis.
loot and share,
Ministry
loot
of
and share,
Special
loot and share.
Initiatives, 3.7 million Ghana cedis.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ministry of
this is
Health,
247 News.
2.4 million Ghana cedis. And the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, 782,262 Ghana cedis. Falsified stores receipt advices intended for misappropriation of public funds. Mr. Speaker, auditors uncovered transactions worth 9.4 million Ghana cedis supported by forged stores receipt advices, SRAs, that had been used to justify requests for payment for goods that were never delivered. Ministry of Defense, 4.8 million. A contract between the Ministry of Defense and a company for vehicles intended for border surveillance and monitoring of the 2024 general election revealed that despite the issuance of stores receipt advice, which is an official document confirming that goods have been received, dated 12 October 2024, the vehicles were never delivered. Similarly, the Judicial Service appeared to be caught in a web of falsified stores receipt advice. While an SRA dated 25th October 2024 claimed the receipt of 7 Toyota saloon cars, as soon as the audit was initiated, the supplier wrote to the Judicial Service on 10th April 2025, indicating their inability to supply the said vehicles as scheduled. This shows that fraudulent documents were submitted to the Ministry of Finance for payments, and steps have been taken to avoid the recurrence of this incident. Mr. Speaker, these cases illustrate a disturbing pattern of fraud designed to deprive the people of Ghana hundreds of millions of cedis of public funds. Recycling of already paid IPCs and invoices. Mr. Speaker, claims amounting to 4.4 billion Ghana cedis, which had already been paid between 2020 and 2024, were fraudulently resubmitted for payment. These recycled claims originated from the following MDAs. Ministry of Roads and Highways, 3.6 billion Ghana cedis. Ministry of Health, 384.8 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Energy, 216.7 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Food and Agriculture, 57 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Defense, 40.9 million Ghana cedis. Independent power producers, 36.4 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Finance, 26.4 million Ghana cedis. And Ministry of Interior, 3.1 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, but for our vigilance, the Ghanaian taxpayer would have lost a colossal 4.4 billion Ghana cedis in these recycled claims. Right, Honorable Speaker, one eye-opening finding of this audit was that MDAs did not have sufficient records of what they had contracted, what they had paid, and what was outstanding. Shockingly, Government of Ghana was at the mercy of contractors and suppliers to determine how much is owed to them. Mr. Speaker, this calls for an urgent review, redesign, and implementation of an appropriate PFM architecture to manage our public funds. Mr. Speaker, auditors identified duplicated and overstated claims by MDAs totaling 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. These MDAs include the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, an amount of 408.3 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Energy, 386.7 million Ghana cedis. The National Service Scheme, 334.5 million Ghana cedis. Ministry of Roads and Highways, 125.65 million Ghana cedis, Ministry of Health 114.2 million Ghana cedis, and the NCCE 8.8 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Defense reported 77.1 million Ghana cedis as outstanding claims for which IPCs and invoices were issued, although the contract had expired and deliveries were not made. Mr. Speaker, according to the auditors, confirmation responses received indicated an overstatement in claims by 161.5 million Ghana cedis, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs 2.68 million Ghana cedis. Agenda 111. Mr. Speaker, the audit of Agenda 111 projects also revealed that a total amount of $7.9 million United States dollars was paid to 35 contractors as advanced mobilization under the program. But these contractors have either failed to mobilize to site or the work done is not commensurate with the amount paid. The advanced mobilization guarantees secured by the 35 contractors who received the $7.9 million US dollars have all expired. The Auditor-General has subsequently issued notices of surcharge to the offending contractors. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, this audit has exposed a rotten system designed to fleece the people of Ghana. It reveals not just lapses in our public financial management architecture, but a pervasive and systemic plunder of the public purse. A culture marked by the fabrication of fictitious claims, the resubmission of recycled invoices, the forgery of stores receipt advice, and the treatment of public funds as personal entitlement rather than as public trust. The President Mahama administration refuses to accept this rotten system. In fact, we refuse to normalize waste, and we refuse to ask the Ghanaian people to pay for fraud. Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Finance has formally referred the report of the Auditor-General to the Attorney General to bring to account those responsible for this rape of the public purse. Those who abused their offices, colluded with contractors, falsified records, or attempted to loot the public purse through the back door will be held to account. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance will no longer serve as a rubber stamp for weak controls and falsified claims. Going forward, no payment will be made without full verification, no commitment will be entered into without budgetary allocation, and no officer, regardless of rank, will be shielded from accountability. This moment marks a decisive break from the past, a reset of public financial management, a declaration that discipline has returned to the center of fiscal and economic governance. Mr. Speaker, the Ghanaian people demand accountability, and under His Excellency President Mahama's government, that